YouTube friends, how are you? Carrie Knowles, the Daydreamer, coming here at you from Switzerland. This will be my last video from Geneva, Switzerland. And yeah, I get on a plane tomorrow to go back to the United States, which I'm actually looking forward to. So I can see my Kit Kat, who is currently at what I'm calling summer camp. She's at a cute little pet care place back in New England, and see my friends and family. So I am excited to get back, because then in a few weeks I'm heading out to the Midwest United States. So I'm going to have a summer full of travel. Today's video is going to be based on the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I believe that is what it's called. I'm just gonna grab my handy dandy laptop here. And The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. I've done several videos on books that I love because they're amazing, and this is how I've been able to become such a powerful manifester. So if you watched my last video, I talked about how when I was pregnant with my first son, I read that what I read was that the human brain grows the fastest in the first 4 to 5 years of life. Now, after going back to school and getting my degrees, I have studied even more on this topic and come to learn that it's the first 7 years of life, and not only is the brain growing, but our subconscious mind is being imprinted basically like a computer during those first 7 years. And then it gets like, it's not that we can't learn, but then there's like different phases of the brain, the state of the brain between birth and 7, and then between 7 and maybe 11 or 12, and then between 12 and 26, something like this, and then adulthood. I don't know the actual facts, but if you read another book from Joe Dispenza, which I just saw in my library, I think it's he has one called Becoming Supernatural, but I don't think I finished that one yet. I think it's called Breaking the Habit of Being You. Let me look it up. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. He talks about the different phases of the brain. So if you want to learn more about that, you can read his book. But what I wanted to talk about today is the subconscious mind and how it's imprinted like you're programming a computer. So parents, if you're watching this, you're programming your children the way you want them to be from birth to 7 years old. Is the biggest impact. Someone like myself, who's 48 and grew up during a very abusive time in history, the 80s. It was full of emotional abuse, physical abuse, just wrong. That's what I was programmed with. Lack, despair, abuse, poverty, just conspiracy theories, thinking the world is out to get us, or rich people are bad, or feeling guilty for having things when someone else doesn't. All these things are wrong. But those are the things that I was programmed with from birth to 7. My parents had no money. We were very poor, but the funny thing is we always had food and resources and a roof over our house. But for some reason they thought it was implemented in the belief that we had less than other people. Regardless, I love my parents, but they know it was a dysfunctional time in history, and we did not benefit from this way of being. So now I know better. But what I also know is that I am grateful that I learned before I had my children that this is the most important time. And I didn't do things perfectly either, because I wasn't raised that way. But slowly I was reading and learning and educating myself on how really we should be treated during that time. Now we have so much education, we have so much knowledge of the brain and psychology and emotions and how to become emotionally intelligent, how to gentle parent our children, how to teach in schools. That it's still out there, but it shouldn't be. So this is a great book if you want to learn more about our programming and our subconscious mind. And I love this book. Now, I've been trying things from this book, and it will happen quickly for you. And one of the reasons I'm making this video is one specific strategy he has, which is just using one word. So another thing to know about children is that if you're giving them instructions, your instructions like can you clean your room, or can you take out the garbage, or whatever it is, should be one word for the age of the child. So most of us are talking way too much. Children are not listening, they're ignoring us, and then they're not doing what you want, and then you're frustrated, and then you're fighting, and then you're arguing, and you're yelling, and they're crying. This is not the situation we want, right? And I'm telling you, this absolutely works. I rarely have a child break down crying anymore. If I do, it's because I went against my own self and did something someone else wanted me to do, which, let me tell you, I'm not doing anymore. I've worked in the school systems, and I'm not doing that anymore. From now on, it's me. It's all about me and what I think is right and what I think is best. And I have another story for this too. Leaning in on our instincts and intuition is going to get you the furthest in life. Stop listening to other people. I'm not doing that anymore. What was the point of my rant about this? I don't remember. Oh, one word. Okay. So teachers are talking too much. Parents are talking too much. I know, I'm a parent. I was a parent and a teacher. I talked too much. But once I learned this strategy, everything changed for me. Our subconscious mind at that age only needs one word per instruction. Now, this isn't to say we're not going to have a conversation, please. A 2-year-old, you can have a conversation with a 2-year-old. Have the conversation with a 2-year-old. But when it comes to direct instruction, something you're expecting from that child, it should only be one word per their age. So, I mean, this is like a guideline. If you follow this, I know it sounds difficult now, but if you follow this guideline, I promise you're going to see a difference. My kids are grown, so I can't think of an exact example of this, but I use it in my classrooms all the time, and it's golden. So yes, a 12-year-old can follow an instruction with 12 words. A 3-year-old can follow instructions with 3 words. Once you start ranting and raving and shaming and blaming and going on and above, beyond these words, they don't care, they're not listening, you're going to start yelling and they're going to start crying. Tone it down. Now, the point of me telling you this is because if our subconscious brain was programmed between 1 and 7, the fastest and the most effective implement, like a computer, you want to go back and reprogram it, rewire your brain. That's why you're hearing all of these things about rewiring our brain, because they were wired the wrong way, and now we're all suffering because of it. So go back to your one word per instruction per age. Now, I don't know exactly what age my subconscious mind is, but if you treat it like that age, 1 to 7, so and the reason why, I'm just explaining the reason why what he says work. He says if you pick a word, I think he uses the word success specifically, and just say this word over and over and over to yourself, you're going to see phenomenal changes. He uses the word success as an example. You will start seeing your version of success manifesting in your life fast. It's going to be crazy. Like, let's say you want a job that everyone's telling you can't get, or they couldn't get, because there's so many applicants and there's such a waiting list for this job and blah, blah, blah. You will get the job. Everyone else will go away and there will be no applicants for the job except you. That's how crazy this and effective this method is. So just pick one word as if you were talking to a child, or if you feel like your subconscious mind is absorbing more than one word. But sometimes some of these affirmations are so long that they're not really implementing your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is not at that level yet. Even though you're 48 like me, depending on your programming and the dysfunctional atmosphere or environment you were raised in, you may just need one word. I've been doing this for like, I think I read this book a couple years ago. No, maybe a year ago. Yeah, it's been a year ago. And things are happening for me like crazy, you guys. So the point of this video is because over the last 2 weeks, I used 3 words. 3 weeks actually, because the week before I left for vacation, there were certain things I wanted to manifest on this trip. So I picked words that represented what I want to manifest. Now, the first word was fun. I think I had watched someone on YouTube, and I like to try to, if I remember the source, I like to try to credit the source, but I don't remember who it was. That was talking about following your fun. Because if you have fun doing it, it means that you're supposed to be doing it. And eventually you can make money from doing the thing that you're having fun doing. That's the whole point. If you work a job you love, you never work a day in your life. Have you heard that quote? My dad had told me this quote like 15 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. And I started making photography my business. And then at first it didn't feel like a work, but now it does. So I'm trying to transition it to something else. But yeah, if you follow your fun or joy, a lot of manifesting gurus will use the word joy or joy. Basically the things that you love and make you happy. Make a list of the things that you love, make you happy, you have fun doing, and that you find joyful. And I've made a love list, like all the things I love. And so for this trip, I picked fun. I had come out of a couple jobs this year that I did not find fun at all. Nobody was having fun. And then when I tried to have fun, they were like angry with me. So I can't deal with that anymore. I need to have fun in life. This is why we're here. We're here for, I believe, 2 reasons: to be happy and to make other people happy. That's it. The 2 most important times to implement your subconscious mind, which you probably know, are first thing before bed as you're falling asleep and first thing in the morning as you're waking up. So, but it's helpful to do this throughout the day, but those are the 2 most important times to implement your subconscious mind. So I would just fall asleep saying fun, 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 fun. Just one word. That's it. See how easy it is? And then I would wake up, fun, 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 fun. And then throughout the day, if I'm driving or doing something tedious or boring, I would just keep repeating fun, 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 fun. And I ended up manifesting a free city pass to Geneva to do anything I wanted. Out of 40 things, there's 40 things, 40 free things. I could choose any of these free things. I won the city pass for free to Geneva, Switzerland. I was just taking a walk. There was a contest with a wheel. I spun it and won. I could do any of these 40 things I wanted for free. And they were fun, like being a child fun. One of them was even going on a water slide, and I was behind a child who was talking to me, and I went down it a couple times having fun, like fun, really fun. Another one was going on a boat, where my son and I had a blast going on a boat on Lake Geneva, going on this boat. Another one was hiking. Oh, another one was a cable car. So I picked 3 of the things. I don't like running around too much, so I picked 3 of the things. I picked the boat cruise, I picked the beach, and then I picked this cable car up to a mountain. And interestingly, we got to cross into France, so that was cool. And then we went up the cable car and we hiked down this, 3,600 feet elevation was the mountain. And then we got to go up top and take pictures, and then we hiked down it, which was so much fun because for some reason I find arduous adventures a blast. Like, I just love laughing at myself because it was really hard. I was sore for 5 days. I counted literally 5 days. But it was, and I think it was like a 3-mile hike, but coming down 3,000 feet. So it was quite an adventure, and it was so fun. that's one thing that I manifested. And this video is going to be about 3 words that I used. So one was fun. Another one was bliss. So when I got here and my son was asking me what I want to do, I was like, there's only 3 things I want to do in life: hike, swim, and eat. That's what I want to spend the rest of my life doing. Throw some coffee in there and I'm golden. So I realized 4 years ago in 2021, I took a road trip across the United States. I had gotten a job photographing food for DoorDash, and I photographed food in 150 restaurants in 28 US states over the past few years. So something along the way, I'd started picking like words of the year or something. And there's a whole entire book about bliss. And so I listened to this book on audio. Bliss is the highest level of contentment, if you research the word bliss. And I realized after this trip, I was happier than I'd ever been in my entire life. And I was blissful. And whenever I try to recreate bliss, like ask myself, what did I do that was blissful? How did I feel blissful today? What made me feel blissful today? I can do another video on that. Asking yourself questions is really beneficial to your subconscious mind. And the first thing that came to my mind was eating. I ate so much good food because these restaurants, after I photographed the food, they would just have to give me the food, or their staff the food, or friends, you know. So I would either sit there with them and eat the food, or take it back to my Airbnb or wherever I was staying and eat the food. And I ate so much good food, but I also during that time visited places that were kind of on my bucket list, like Magnolia Market and Key West. I didn't get free food there, but I was working along the way, so I bought myself food. And I realized how much like avocado toast and like a nice cappuccino made me blissful. And so those are 2 things that really make me blissful. And another one that makes me blissful is water. Just swimming in water, being around water, showering in water, like drinking water. Just, I love water. So those 2 things really make me feel blissful. And on this trip, so we left here. So he had asked me what I wanted to do. We did all those, I manifested all those things with the word fun, and then I transitioned to the word bliss. And I have been surrounded by water this entire trip. And I believe they're all 3 landlocked countries. I'll have to look that up. Even if they're not, we were not anywhere near the ocean. And I live near the ocean, like on the ocean. So I did not expect this. But I've been surrounded by lakes and rivers and fountains and baths and all the things having to do with water. Also, my son, I just lost thought. Also, food, the avocado toast and the cappuccinos or mocha lattes, all the things I have manifested. The most incredible avocado toast, the most incredible cappuccinos, even on a train. I'll tell you about that in a minute. The food has been phenomenal. Like food I have never even thought I would like have access to or eat. Like just incredible on this trip. The third word, which is probably 2 words, but like I said, once you start implementing your subconscious mind, you can increase your words, like my analogy of a child, like the 1 word versus 7 words. So the next one was actually 2 words. So then I transitioned, I did that bliss for like the first week, and then I transitioned into first class, repeating first class, as I went to bed, as I woke up, and when I wasn't doing anything during the day. He tells me the day before we leave here, So the plan was a week in Switzerland and a week in Hungary because his girlfriend's from Hungary. He told me the day before, either the day before or the day of, that I knew we were going on a train. He wanted to take me on a train ride across the European country, right? Through the 3 countries, Switzerland, Austria, and Hungary, because you have to go through Austria to get to Hungary. He tells me, oh, by the way, our trains are first class. He surprised me with first class trains, but then we end up in Austria, and I'm like, are we switching trains now? Like, I was starting to look at the map, like, he told me this was an 8-hour train ride, but we have the whole country of Austria left before we get to Hungary. Our final destination was Budapest. Well, he was surprising me with 2 days in Austria because one of our things when he was a kid was that we had a tradition of watching The Sound of Music every winter. He was surprising me with 2 days in Austria and a Sound of Music tour. In 2 days in Salzburg, Austria. He had a hotel for us. Now, I thought we were going on a train from Geneva, Switzerland to Budapest, Hungary. Like, the whole day, a nice European train. He told me it was first class that day or the day before. He said we were going to have, our meal was going to be served on the train. You guys, not only was our meal served on the train, they were amazing meals. We ended up having 2 meals on 2 different trains on 2 different days. Amazing cappuccino, like amazing desserts, first class. And then he had this really cool trendy hotel called Cocoon in Salzburg, Austria. It's a German hotel, actually, if you look it up. And he took me out to eat at the most incredible first class restaurants. We had the best coffee and desserts. The tour, the Sound of Music tour, was phenomenal. We saw these incredible gardens, these cute little towns. Like, for 48 hours we were in Salzburg, Austria. And that was a surprise from my 30-year-old son to his mama, to me, that I had no idea, absolutely no idea. I had to do everything I could to prevent myself from crying right in the streets of Salzburg. And on the bus, it was like a bus tour it was just this 4-hour tour through the mountains, through gardens, looking at everything in Austria, in Salzburg, Austria. The hotel had this little swing that I love. Like, I love hammocks and swings, and it was just absolutely first class. So I hope this wasn't too long of a video, but those are the 3 words I used during this trip and manifested everything I could possibly imagine. Even when we got to Budapest, I'll have to tell you more about Budapest in the next video. Budapest in the next video, but yeah, so the words were fun, bliss, and first class. And I would say I probably repeated each of them for 3 days, maybe not, maybe 2, 48 to 72 hours, going to bed, waking up, and then anytime I had nothing to do. Yeah, that's crazy. And these were things that I was not expecting at all. And especially with the bliss one, the water, because it was 95 degrees and they do not use air conditioning in Europe. So I had no idea what I was getting into, and I did not even realize that it was 95 degrees here. I mean, it's breezy, there's trees, there's gardens, there's water. I mean, we swam and we went on this in a real river that was like a lazy river. I won the free pass to a beach. I mean, there were so many cool things. The windows and these doors keep opening. Let me show you this apartment. Can you see the classic European? Isn't it so pretty? So yeah, those are my stories about using one word. and why it works, and yeah, and a couple books where you can do some research on that. The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, and Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like and subscribe. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. And remember, life is a sweet dream and you are the daydreamer. Bye.